Welcome back to This Day in Irish History. I'm your host, Raymond Welsh. Before we dive into today's story, if you'd like to explore other significant events that happened on this day in Irish history, visit thisdayishhistory.com. The link is in the episode description. Now, let's journey back to February 18th, 1882, when Ireland played its first ever international football match, an event that unfortunately resulted in a record-breaking defeat. It was on this day that Ireland faced England in a football match held in Belfast. The Irish squad, composed largely of amateur players, had little experience at the international level and were up against an English team that was far more seasoned. The result was a crushing 13-0 loss, one of the most lopsided defeats in the history of international football. It was a humbling debut for Ireland, but one that marked the beginning of its long and storied journey in the sport. At the time, football was still developing in Ireland. The Irish Football Association had been formed just 2 years earlier, in 1880, aiming to promote and organise the game within the country. However, the level of experience and professionalism in Irish football was nowhere near that of England, where the Football Association had been established as early as 1863. While the English team featured players with a wealth of competitive experience, the Irish side was still finding its footing, composed mainly of players from local clubs who had never faced such formidable opposition. The match was played at Knockground in Belfast, and from the outset it was clear that Ireland was outmatched. England's attacking prowess was relentless, with multiple players contributing to the goal tally. The Irish defence struggled to contain the waves of English attacks, and by the final whistle, England had racked up 13 goals without conceding a single one. It was a sobering lesson for Ireland, but also an important milestone in its footballing history. Despite the heavy defeat, the match had a silver lining. It demonstrated Ireland's willingness to compete on the international stage and set the foundation for the country's footballing future. Over the coming decades, Irish football would continue to develop, gradually improving its competitiveness against stronger teams. The establishment of domestic leagues and greater investment in training and infrastructure helped the Irish national team progress, leading to notable successes in the 20th and 21st centuries. In hindsight, this early defeat was just a stepping stone in Ireland's footballing journey. The Irish team would go on to achieve significant milestones, including memorable World Cup appearances and famous victories against some of the world's top footballing nations. While February 18th, 1882, may be remembered for a painful loss, it also marks the beginning of Ireland's enduring presence in the international football scene. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Ireland's rich past. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, I'm Raymond Welsh. Slán go fóill.